Gogeta. Gogeta is a Saiyan from the 7th universe, created via the Metamoran art of fusion. Gogeta was created in a desperate bid by Son Gokū and Vegeta to defeat a rampaging Broly. His Potara counterpart is Vegetto. Gogeta is the Metamoran fusion of Goku and Vegeta when they perform the fusion dance properly. His voice is a dual voice containing both Goku's and Vegeta's voices. Like his Potara counterpart, Vegetto, he is regarded as one of the most powerful characters in the entire Dragon Ball franchise, combining the power of Goku and Vegeta and even magnifying them to become even more powerful. Overview. Creation and concept. Gogeta first appeared in the 1995 movie Dragon Ball Z, Fusion Reborn. An iteration of him appeared in Dragon Ball GT. His first canon debut was years later in Broly, in which his new traits were a result of Akira Toriyama's attempt at adding him into the Dragon Ball canon. Appearance. As a fusion of Goku and Vegeta, Gogeta's physical traits blends the two's physical appearance fairly evenly. His stature is gained from Goku, and he possesses the man's slim but muscular build, as well as being taller than Vegeta. Gogeta's hair is more inclined towards Vegeta, constantly standing on end with a widow's peak. However, the single bang that framed his face comes from Goku. In base state, Gogeta's skin is darker in tone, a trait he inherited from Vegeta. Gogeta's facial features resemble Goku, however, but with a hint of the seriousness that comes from Vegeta. His attire is the standard outfit beget by the Metamoran fusion, a vest, white GI pants, a dark blue obi tied to the side, and black shoes with dark blue wrappings. The primary difference is the vest's coloration, being black with yellow padding, rather than the dark blue vest that Gotenks wears. Personality. Gogeta, as a fusion of Goku and Vegeta, is a composite being that exhibits their personality traits. Like his counterpart, Vegetto, he inherits the memories of both Goku and Vegeta. Gogeta seems to have inherited more of his personality from Goku, being an individual that is laid back and casual, though he has the seriousness of Vegeta to balance this out. When he was born, Gogeta deliberately took the time to craft his name, figuring it would be cooler if he had a name, in spite of Piccolo's insistence that he hurry, and it was only after he settled on a name different from Vegetto that he finally went to the battlefield. He has also inherited Goku's polite mannerisms, addressing Whis respectfully with the san honorific. In battle, he is able to be completely serious, and is a strong, silent fighter. This contrasts his brother, Vegetto, who displays the levity that Goku is known for, twisted into a sardonic sense of humor that stems from Vegeta. While fighting Broly, he shows a complete handling of the situation, always keeping himself a step above his opponent to ensure that he never loses the upper hand. He is also quick to deal the finishing blow, being more than willing to erase Broly from existence with the full-force Kamehameha before Chi-Lai intervened with Shenron. However, he is able to change his mind in an instant because when he saw Broly was transported away, he decided not to use teleportation to kill Broly since he was no longer a threat to Earth and even stopped Frieza from killing Limo and Chi-Lai. This shows Gogeta's top priority is Earth's safety and only kills when someone poses a threat to the planet and will cease trying to kill them the instant they are no longer a threat. Plot overview. Dragon Ball Z, Fusion Reborn. Gogeta makes an appearance during the end of the movie. After Goku defeats his first form, Janemba transforms into his super form and becomes too powerful for Goku to defeat. Even with the help of the recently deceased Vegeta, he cannot kill the demon. So, Goku quickly teaches the fusion dance to Vegeta. The fusion dance must be performed correctly to create a very powerful symbiotic warrior, so when Vegeta fails to extend his index finger properly in the final step of the dance, this results in a much weaker fusion warrior named Viku. Viku is no match for Janemba, and for 30 minutes he frantically evades the demon's attacks in comical fashion, clumsily stumbling and passing gas as part of his defense. The second time around, and with the assistance of Goku's ally Pikin, the fusion dance is performed correctly, and Super Gogeta appears. After an amazing display of speed and power, Gogeta finishes Janemba off with the Stardust Breaker. With the elimination of the negative energy that had created Janemba, the creature reverts into the young ogre, Sake Demon, who ran off in fear after he made eye contact with Gogeta. Gogeta laughs in amusement, watching the boy running off. Later, Goku and Vegeta defuse and bid farewell to each other for the time being. Dragon Ball Super, Broly. When Goku and Vegeta prove to be unable to best Broly, their only resort is the fusion technique. After 2 failed fusions, the fused being of Goku and Vegeta is born. When Piccolo falters on his name, the being notes that, when Goku and Vegeta fuse via Potara, the result is Vegetto. He struggles to come up with a name, and despite Piccolo's insistence that he simply hurry, ruminates over a name as it would be cooler. He finally settles on a name, Gogeta. He teleports to the battlefield, face to face with a beaten Frieza. The tyrant demands to know just who Gogeta is. The man explains that he is the fusion of Goku and Vegeta, and is far stronger than the two of them added together. When Frieza comments on the unfairness of fusion, Gogeta simply scoffs, before turning his attention to Broly and Whis. Gogeta asks Whis to step back, as Gogeta can take it from here, and tells Broly to come and fight. The battle begins, and Gogeta avoids and deflects Broly's onslaught of ki. The fused Saiyan transforms, despite taking a hit, begins to turn the tide in his favor, dominating Broly completely. Gogeta releases a multitude of Kakoha down onto Broly, who manages to force the blasts off of himself and retaliates. Their speed of battle increases, Gogeta keeping both momentum and edge during the scuffle. Gogeta prepares a Super Kamehameha, which Broly counters with his own attack, which shatters dimensions. Within this separate space, the two engage in battle once again. Gogeta dominates the battle single-handedly, forcing Broly to unleash the full power of his Super Saiyan transformation, which slightly evens the ground between himself and Gogeta. Gogeta unleashes his full power as well, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue, completely overwhelming Broly. Gogeta easily avoids Broly's barrage of Kakoha, before retaliating with a stronger Stardust Fall, which Broly himself avoids. As the two clash again, the dimension is shattered, propelling the two back to Earth. With the tide of battle firmly in his favor, Gogeta approaches the next round with the utmost confidence. Passing through Broly's incoming attack, Gogeta launches one of his own, before attacking Broly with the Stardust Breaker. While it does not kill Broly, it manages to damage him immensely. The match is cleanly decided in Gogeta's favor, but Broly keeps fighting. Gogeta notices the summoning of Shenron, yet continues his own assault. He begins to charge a Kamehameha, intending to finish the helpless Saiyan then and there. However, before his finisher can connect, Broly is whisked away by Shenron. When Frieza attempts to kill Chilai and Limo for their interference, Gogeta stops him. As the tyrant leaves, threatening to return, Gogeta simply chuckles. Abilities. Despite being formed by different methods, neither Gogeta nor Vegetto are the other's superior. Both fusions are equally matched in strength. Gogeta is a tremendously powerful Saiyan warrior. In his base state alone, his power eclipses that of Goku and Vegeta combined in their Super Saiyan Blue state. He is also incredibly fast, able to outpace Broly's onslaught of ki-based attacks prior to transforming. Physical abilities. Gogeta inherited the physical capabilities of both Goku and Vegeta to an incredible degree. His mastery of martial arts allowed him to soundly outclass Broly during their bout both in speed and combat technique. Notably, Gogeta favors a martial arts style that relies heavily upon powerful kicks, but that does not make his punches any less devastating, as he was able to knock the wind out of Broly with a crushing punch late in their battle. Using a combination of these techniques, Gogeta essentially dominated the mutant Saiyan during their brief confrontation. Key manipulation techniques. Gogeta is the fused product of two master martial artists, and two of the strongest fighters within the 7th universe. As such, his ability to mold ki and utilize it in fighting is greater than the sum of his parts. During his battle with Broly, Gogeta demonstrates immense control over his ki, being able to utilize it for precise attacks as well as continuous onslaughts, shifting battle styles with his ki easily. Despite aiming directly towards the planet, Gogeta's damage was kept to superficial at best, further showcasing his great control. While being a fused fighter, Gogeta's style of attacks lean more towards Goku's, rather than blending techniques like Vegetto. Saiyan forms. Super Saiyan. As the fused product of two Super Saiyans, Gogeta is more than capable of accessing Super Saiyan. Gogeta's transformation was more visually stunning than either Goku or Vegeta's transformations, resulting in a golden glow around his body that erupted into the traditional golden flames of the Super Saiyan aura. This form proved to be equal to Broly's Super Broly state, with Gogeta himself more than having an edge. His power in this state, combined with Broly's, was enough to shatter the dimensions, transporting them to an odd landscape of colors. It is only when Broly became the full power version of his transformation that Gogeta needed to transform further. Super Saiyan Blue. Due to being a product of both Son Gokū and Vegeta, Gogeta is capable of transforming into a Super Saiyan Blue. In this state, Gogeta's abilities skyrocket, and he gains access to God Ki. Due to his and Vegetto's powers being equal, Gogeta surpasses Beerus' strength in this state, which lends credence to Whis' statement that if the two ever worked together, they could exceed him. As a Super Saiyan Blue, Gogeta leaves Broly completely in the dust in terms of power and speed. Even after transforming into his full power state, Broly did not stand a chance against the God-clad Saiyan, who soundly defeated him in martial arts and ended the battle with a ground-shattering Kamehameha that would have likely ended Broly's life had Shenron not intervened and returned him to Vampa. Gogeta also had enough strength to intimidate Frieza in his golden transformation. Failed fusions. Vegito is the failed version of Gogeta who occurred when Goku and Vegeta attempted to fuse for the first time. He is one of several failed fusions present in the series. Vegeta fails to extend his index finger, resulting in an embarrassingly weak fusion which forms a fat fighter called Vegito by South Kai, a name that comes from Vegeta and Goku. In this form, his speed is decreased and ki is extremely limited. Because of his state, Vegeta does not perform any ki attacks due to the large drop in power. Also, due to his fat body, he does not retaliate by punching and kicking. Instead, all he does against Super Janemba is pass gas and escape using what he calls his rabbit feet technique. Just like a regular fusion, the time duration is 30 minutes before the two fighters defuse. This type of failed fusion is also seen with Goten and Trunks during the Majin Buu saga, forming fat Gotenks when attempting to fuse for the first time. Concept arts for a skinny Vegito are shown in Daisensha 6, in the Fusion Reborn area, but the character was not included in the final version of the movie. A skinny Vegito card exists in Dragon Ball Cardus, released on March 22, 1995, just after the release of Fusion Reborn on March 4, 1995. Skinny Vegito is also in Dragon Ball Z, Buu's Fury, appearing when the player fails to do a proper fusion. Vegito makes two short appearances in Dragon Ball Super, Broly when Goku and Vegeta fail to perform the fusion dance properly, the first time due to Goku's finger slipping below Vegeta's and the second time due to Goku being tilted at a 45-degree angle while Vegeta is tilted at a 60-degree angle. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kaioshin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Ben Phillips.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.